A very good afternoon to all of you. I am Ella welcoming you all on behalf of Solar Quarter South Asia and the First View Group to the Shaping the Solar Landscape Trends in Utility Scale PV and CNI Markets. Before we proceed further, I would like to thank our panel members for their immense support to organize this event and extend my heartfelt gratitude to our industry partner, Wari, for being a crusader and making this event possible. Their commitment to promoting sustainable energy solutions is truly commendable. Thank you all for joining us to dive into the future of energy, focusing on the efficiency of utility scale PV projects and the strategic adoption of solar energy by commercial and industrial sectors. I would now request my team to play the commercial video for Wari.
Sun's rays that light up our lives travel over 150 million kilometers. India receives abundant sunshine that can power the world. By channeling this as solar energy, we are Wari Energies Limited, largest module manufacturer in the world outside China. Wari, one with the sun. As India's top player in the solar energy sector, our dream is to put India on the world's solar map. India's leading solar company, with a massive footprint in more than 388 plus Indian locations and 20 plus countries globally. We are developing world-class assets and infrastructure for cell and module manufacturing. Our factories are truly global in magnitude and scale. Our operational competence is par excellence. Our state-of-the-art, fully automated vertical integrated solar manufacturing complex is the largest solar module mega factory in India. Our manufacturing philosophy is guided by a passion to deliver the highest value, using quality raw materials with best-in-class equipment and excellent workmanship. Wari team's average age is 26 years. We have the competitive advantage and complete control in entire supply chain management for solar modules based on our domain expertise and manufacturing excellence. Wari owns largest NABL accredited lab by any Indian module manufacturer. Wari is a market leader in its segment and 100% vertically integrated solar company.
Over the last 3 decades, Wari Group has been consistently working to increase the value to our shareholders and all the stakeholders. Wari has planned to increase their solar module manufacturing capacity and going up to the polysilicon, that which includes the wafers, cells and the modules on a much larger volume that we are and that we are going to continue. Wari also works on the battery storage and the hydrogen. This also will be in our plan to continuously expand our capabilities in terms of the technologies and the production. We see a great opportunity, very good future for the green energy and the sustainable energy.
We are marching towards a new evolutionary trajectory where solar energy will take the center stage as the world's cleanest, greenest, and most cost-effective source of sustainable energy. We are committed to optimize our energy portfolio and lead the way towards a new pinnacle of excellence by taking solar energy to each and every household of this great nation. Modules are rated top performer in PVEL 2023 Module Reliability Scorecard. Wari has the highest market share in solar module supply and has been a Tier 1 solar module manufacturer for 35 quarters. Wari understates various CSR initiatives to give back to society and the planet. Wari, one with the sun.
Thank you, team. May I now request the team to play the video for Goodvi? Thank you, team. Here, I would like to make a small announcement. Attendees can post their questions in the Q&A box, and our speakers will answer those questions at the end of the panel discussion. So let's embark on a captivating exploration of India's solar revolution with Shaping the Solar Landscape, Trends in Utility Scale PV and CNI Markets. Let's witness India's impressive solar capacity achievements exceeding initial targets of 40 gigawatts and now aiming for an ambitious 500 gigawatts of renewable energy capacity by 2030. Our discussions will delve into the core of India's solar landscape, unraveling the current status and growth trends. Explore the key drivers and challenges shaping the utility scale PV sector, as well as the profound impact of government policies and incentives on its development. We will be diving into the dynamics of the commercial and industrial solar market, unveiling emerging trends and the factors influencing the adoption of solar power in these sectors. The webinar will also spotlight the technological advancements propelling the solar industry forward, including innovations in solar panel technology and their applications in both utility scale and CNI projects. We will be gaining insights into storage technologies and their seamless integration with solar projects, paving the way for a more resilient and sustainable energy future. Moreover, our exploration extends beyond borders as we analyze global solar trends and their adaptability to the Indian utility scale PV and CNI markets. Recent international research will be presented, shedding light on how global innovations can be harnessed to further propel India's solar revolution. Our goal for this webinar extends beyond just disseminating information. We aim to create a dynamic platform for knowledge sharing, fostering collaboration, and building a robust network within the solar energy community. As India surges forward in achieving its ambitious renewable energy targets, networking becomes paramount to drive innovation and collectively overcome challenges. So, without further ado, please allow me to introduce you to our esteemed panel of speakers for today. Mr. Varun Raj, Regional Sales Head, North India from Goodwheel. Mr. Rajesh Tiwari, Assistant Vice President, Central Design and Engineering from Hero Future Energy. Mr. Pradeep Chauhan, Country Manager, Indian Subcontinent from Solar Pack. Mr. Srinivas Popuri, Group Head Quality, Greenco Group. And Mr. Soumyadeep Ghosh, Project Control Coordinator from CleanMax. Mr. Rajesh Tiwari, AVP Central Design and Engineering from Hero Future Energies, will be the moderator for the session. Over to you, Mr. Tiwari.
Great. Thank you, Ala. And first of all, I would like to thank Solar Quarter for taking this very important topic and the current demanding topic in the forum. And also would like to thank the panelists who all are taken precious time for this discussion. So about me, basically, last 20 years, I'm serving in this renewable sector. So basically, from manufacturing since 2006, I have seen the up and down of solar, and then the huge investment after 2012, and then in the EPC and designing side, so in the application side, how the things are shaping up. So basically, about Hero Future Energy, Hero is having a more than 1.6 gigawatt of assets, and in that the operational assets are having a variety. So there are central inverter, string inverter, tracker, and fixed tilt. And even we have secured recently, you can say, more than 600 megawatt in the peak power. And the long vision we have, long-term vision, so more than a 5 gigawatt, and you can say in the coming years, Hero is looking for to invest on this RE sector. For green hydrogen also we are working, and there are many different trajectory like pump storage and other things also we are involved. So basically to start with this topic, the solar landscape. Basically, the country where India is having a potential of more than 500 trillion units. The geography which we have, if we can able to utilize those geography, so we can able to produce 500 trillion units for through the solar. The India is having a demand of, you can say, 230 gigawatt of peak demand. Even the, as Ala told about that, the vision of our prime minister is having a 500 gigawatt by 2030. So it is really a kind of ambitious target, but definitely it's going to be achieved, and it is a demand on the climate concern as well. So particularly utility scale, when I see there are so many policies which are helping us, and the government is such a favorable government which, who has taken up a lot of initiative. There are SECI, there are SJVN, there are the and nice, there are the institutes and the tendering, you can say, companies who are taking up, like you can say, more than 100 gigawatt of tenders are, or even 63 gigawatt of tenders are in the pipeline. Even recently, if we can see in the green hydrogen, that bidding was the oversubscribed. So people are so much enthusiastic, and their willingness is very high for the uh, investment on the RE. Year on year growth, if we can see, the country has seen year on year growth around 34-36% in particularly solar. uh, of course, because the trend was initially was lower. So from 2014 to 2023, if we talk, so almost we are in the something around 132 gigawatt by the renewal. But in that 72 or 73 gigawatt we have achieved by the solar. If we bifurcate it further, like 72 gigawatt solar by something around 55 gigawatt by ground mounted, and something around 11 is solar rooftop. So 18 to 20% of contribution of CNI market. Some of hybrid and off grid also is can be added, like 2 gigawatt or 2.5 gigawatt on this. So the vast portfolio India having, and India can do a lot of things in that. Government policies are also helping on. There are, like you can say, market coupling policies, RGO, RPO, and the uniform tariff which government have taken up. So that is helping to Discom deciding on. So they are not worried about what will be the lowest tariff is going to derive. And there are so many new things for the making the grid stability side, because huge amount of RE penetration is going to be. So the grid is also becoming stable. Almost you can say 18 gigawatt in Rajasthan. So particular that state, what kind of reactive power and how the grid transmission line need to be built in, those aspects, how to support the grid. So those aspects are very well taken. There are the kind of grid control, and even uh, the Poshoko, they are working on this. So mostly on the utility scale, even in CNI scale. So not taking too much time, I have a panel, great panel members are in my desk. So I would like to go with the Soumyadeep, basically to understand about what are the emerging trends in the CNI market. Basically, I would say CNI having a great potential. There we can say blockchain technology, or either like uh, the retail segment, we can say. So in the retail segment, how the what are new things you are looking for, and how you want to take it further. So Soumya, if you can tell.
Okay, thank you, Rajesh. So, I would like to explain the detail of the commercial and industrial market. So, currently in India, if you see the commercial and industrial market is growing at the rate of around 30-35% yearly. So probably it is helping, and it is going to help achieving the renewable energy goal of the India, like uh, through several way, maybe through rooftop or through ground mount. So basically, if you see the rooftop market, it has been acquired already. Like total out of total rooftop market, solar market, 75% of market has been acquired by CNI, and so on in ground mount and the hybrid project, wind and solar combined, or maybe combined with other renewable source they are doing. Yes, it is efficient. There is no doubt on it, and the way government is dealing with it, or the government is supporting, like making the renewable corridors for supply of the product, increasing the tariff, uh, helping people to import from other countries like China, Vietnam, somewhere from some other state, like other countries. So yes, that is helping, and it is going to be a like the pathway, or it is going to help the renewable sector to grow.
Uh, okay. So, uh, furthermore, like if CNI market is taken, like you can say there is a kind of uh, the open access policies, and
Exactly.
there are the uh, RPOs, or renewable energy purchase obligation, and even the huge potential when I talk about like uh, the percentage catering on the CNI market. So behind the meter, so those things are very uh, lucrative, you can say. So moving ahead, like we have our panel member like Srinivas ji. If you can tell about something on this aspect, so what is your view on this?
On the pump storage kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for giving Solar Quarter for giving me this opportunity. So, this pump storage. Before coming to pump storage, I would like to just give some brief and why we require this pump storage, why we require this kind of things. So, if you see in the world scenario or the Indian scenario, the predominant of the GHG emissions are coming through power generation, energy requirement, and say the industry. So that is what is the thing, and in what we the majority of the power, even if you see in India, though renewable has increased a lot as you have given the introduction, still we are dependent on coal. Almost like 45% of the power generations come from coal. And even if we are increasing at this stage the renewables, the dependency on coal doesn't come down actually. Say maybe still it would be around 35 to 38% of this. So, to why we are still dependent on this coal? One of the key reason is the RTC, that is the round the clock power requirement. RTC, that is what we call. So, if you say solar, hydro, or wind, these are all like seasonal generally in general. So solar is operates in the morning, but we don't have it doesn't generate in the evenings. Wind again is seasonal. Now in this winter season, it is almost like zero generation in our plants. Then hydro is also where water is there. It is you get good rains and water availability is there. The hydro works. Otherwise, the hydro doesn't work. So what we are doing in Greenco is to build and operate flexible utility scale energy assets to deliver sustainable energy and like demand driven energy. So one of the key thing for this is the RTC. So how you give the RTC? So just to give introduction of Greenco, where I work, we almost have like around 2.2 gigawatts of solar, 3.2 gigawatts of wind, and around 1.8 gigawatts of hydro, all put together around 7.6 gigawatts of operational power right now. And in line with the government of India's vision and their aspirations, we are playing a part. And in the next say 4 years, we are going to put up around 50 gigawatts of power, and predominantly this will be of pump storage. Now, if you say, as I was telling you, round the clock power. So round the clock power, as I told you, this wind, solar, and hydro, they are seasonal. So you need to store this energy. So once you say storage, the first thing that comes to mind to everybody or most of the people is batteries. Even if you Google it, if you say energy storage, and it shows batteries. So generally, it is thought that energy can be stored in batteries and used when it is required. But when we are talking about utility scale projects, where we are talking about gigawatt scale projects, so there, such kind of batteries, it becomes very cumbersome, very expensive, and also environmentally not very attractive. So the other thing which comes up is the pump storage. So we will be storing energy in water. So how that happens? It is not a new concept per se. These pump storage projects are running in many parts of the world from many years. But the scale in which Greenco is planning this pump storage is something first of its kind in the world. So till now, as I told, in many parts of the world, pump storage is running maybe in megawatt scale projects. Now we are coming up with gigawatt scale pump storage project. So one of our ongoing project in Kurnool in Andhra Pradesh is the pump storage integrated renewable energy pump storage plant, where we are integrating wind, hydro, and solar. It is of 5,320 megawatts. This is a huge one, and this is the first of its kind in the world. So when I was telling, in the next 4 years we are going to put up 50 gigawatts. So such kind of projects will be coming around 10 and more. As of now, we are looking at some 10 projects, out of which three are under construction right now. So this is what is the thing. So I'll explain you what is this pump storage. So generally, if you say hydro project, again the first thing which comes is a river full of water, where we are diverting some part of the river, some part of the water, or we are blocking the water and in the through dam, and using that water for the pump generation, power generation. So in this, we don't require a running water per se, like a river or something. Here we are storing water. There will be We'll be constructing two reservoirs. One will be the top reservoir at an head, and there will be a bottom reservoir at the tail race, and there will be a power plant in between, powerhouse in between these two things. So we will take this water from a nearby reservoir and fill it and keep it. So this is, as I told you, is an integrated renewable energy project, which where we are integrating solar, wind, and hydro. Solar and wind, that will be solar will be operating in the day, and once the sun is coming down and solar is shutting down, this plant will start, and the water on the top reservoir will flow through the turbines. These turbines are the reversible turbines, and the water will get stored in the bottom reservoir. So the water, the design of the reservoirs are such that it will operate from the evening when the sun is coming down till the sun picks up in the morning, and solar again is generating the power. So in the night, this hydro plant works and it's generating power, and we will be able to give power to the users, end users. So as again the sun picks up in the morning, solar runs, and we will be having some additional solar power which will run this reversible turbines. And in the morning, this will act as pumps, and it will pump up the water from the lower reservoir to upper reservoir so that it is ready for generation in the evening. So this is what actually the pump storage is. So we will be storing that power in water. That's what it says. So it is not that we are pumping putting power into the water, but we are increasing the head of the water through pumping it back through available extra available solar. So that is how it works. So this will give a flexibility in, because the end user, whether it is you, me, industry, or any commercial institute, they require round the clock power. So, and somebody may be requiring in the morning, somebody may be requiring in the afternoon, some may be requiring in the evening or night, or somebody may be requiring all through day. So we should be able to give flexibility to them where they want and when they want. We should be able to deliver the power. Therefore, decreasing the dependency on the coal, which you say is most flexible. That's why we are still dependent on coal. So through this, we'll be operating either more turbines of hydro and more turbines of wind whenever additional power is required, or we will be operating less of hydro in when it is not required. So that is how we say that it is demand driven assets which we are building. And the power generation is flexible.
Yeah, I understand. So very well explained, I think. Pump storage. So if you have to compare with the kind of lithium-ion batteries, BESS with the pump storage, so economics-wise and efficiency-wise, if you can furthermore elaborate.
See, economy-wise, if it is like you're constructing this kind of pump storage, obviously the cost will be more, because you need to have that much of land, then you need to build the embankments, then the pen stocks, and so on and so forth. And so that definitely initially the cost will be more. And but in the running, if you see the running of these things, the batteries have a kind of a life. So even very efficient batteries, they may operate for 5 6 years or 7 years or so. So after that life of battery, we have to replace those batteries. So this kind of a thing, it requires a lot of investment, continuous investment through the life cycle of this hydro plant, or any solar plant, when you say. And second thing is, when you are using batteries, so when you're using the batteries, once the battery is life is over, we need to dispose of that battery. And this lithium ion, lithium, and all are hazardous materials which are dangerous to the environment. So you need to dispose of those off in a very sustainable manner, and mostly these will go into landfills. So you will be also using the land, which will be wasted forever. So in that sense, if you see, when we are talking of green and environmentally sustainable options of generating power, and also which will be environmentally friendly, then these are the pump storage hydro is more what do you say, attractive.
Right. So, and even adding on this, like if you have a battery storage, so you required a kind of space for keeping those in your solar, and
Right.
also you have to connect at 33 kV terminal, and then you require additional feeder or the kind of EMS. So that will be EMS will be also, because energy management can be there in
Correct.
PHP as well, but the same transmission line or even different route. So that is basically the additional capex will not be there.
Yeah, but if you say the transmission lines and all will also be required for the hydro generation, so that is the reason why I didn't talk about those. I am taking this as a common BOS, that is balance BOP, that is required for both hydro and solar, hydro and battery storages. But yes, if you say the even the land requirement for these batteries, the kind of arrays you need to build, and those things would be definitely there. And green, if you talk about the VA, because we are talking about green, that is the reason why we are talking about renewable and other things. This pump storage is definitely a lot better than this.
Right, right, right. So further, like adding on this uh, something around the solar panel side, the innovation, and something around the technology side. So what is like if you can add something on the new innovations which are happening on the solar panel side.
Yeah. I think as we are talking about gigawatt scale solar plants, and now megawatt is over. Now all the major players are talking about gigawatt scale. They are trying to put up huge plants. So the earlier solar modules which you are using, like a 345 watt peak and other things, become redundant now, because the efficiency of those modules, or the number of modules of that capacity would be huge. So the land requirement will be huge, the cabling will be huge, and all the BOs will also increase. So I think the module manufacturers, whether it is Indian or Chinese, or for that matter any global player, they are coming up with a lot of innovations. They are trying to improve the efficiency of the modules. And also now, since solar panels, now solar farms have become, say, like earlier, maybe a decade earlier, we were like in a nascent stage. Now we have matured a lot. We are now seeing what are the problems that are arising from the operations, like micro cracks, damage of backsheet, thereby the problems with insulation and leakage, and then the hotspots, so on and so forth, and also failures of the diodes. So I think the solar industry, panel manufacturers are also coming with a lot of innovations these days. In fact, they are coming too fast. Once we are, as a developer, we are trying to decide on certain kind of panel, then already there is some new technology which they are coming and says, "Sir, this now you please take this." Like the half cut cell, that's a good technology that has come, so that the cell size is increasing, the efficiency increasing, but larger cell size may result in micro cracks. So they are cutting that into half, thereby also reducing the losses and other things. And also that will mm, eliminate or reduce the shading part of it, damages during shading or hotspots. And also the new thing, like the Topcon, which is coming with a very high efficiency, n type of modules, and n type cells and modules, which are coming with Topcon, with high, almost we are talking about now 700 around 700 watt peak of modules, which are huge. And also the latest of the HJT, heterojunction type modules. So these are all new innovations which are coming, which looks to be good, though they have to be proven. But I think uh, we are going in the right way, right direction, wherein we are thinking of high efficiency modules, and also like less maintenance, and so on and so forth. So now even we are talking about the many people, many manufacturers are talking about like 1,000 watt peak of a module, which will be coming in the coming years. So this definitely will decrease the BOS of the solar plant. So the land requirement will be less, the maintenance area will be less, the cabling will be less. Therefore, obviously, the maintenance though capital, it also reduces the capital cost, but also the maintenance will become very easy. So these are what I feel that, and again, like backsheet, as I told you, we are having a lot of problems with the backsheet. They are getting cracked, or there is the color is so this glass type modules are coming, which will reduce this damage of backlash, and improve the strength of the modules. And also bifacial is one where we can extract more power in those. So I think there are a lot of new things coming in the thing, and I feel that we are going in the right direction in kind of innovations and the latest technologies that include the manufacturing setups, which the manufacturers such as like Wari or even any other thing, they are constantly they are seeing how to improve the production efficiency, as well as minimize any process damage to the modules, since they are very very sensitive. So I think we are going in the right direction.
So, being like you are in a quality head. So, uh, what are the like challenges or the kind of this particularly about solar module? Uh, the Indian manufacturing industry, because we were earlier, you can say 2 gigawatt or 4 gigawatt manufacturing. Then now we are talking about like every OEM or every manufacturer having a kind of 2 gigawatt facility that is either building up or either they have running up. So in that, almost more than 35 or 37 gigawatt, or looking forward like 60 gigawatt is the plan which we have in manufacturing of solar module, as well as the solar wave cell side. Also, we have a lot of you can say 15 to 20 gigawatt something, which are given proposals and are under built up. So in the one side is the skilled or unskilled manpower, that is we can say, because ultimately suddenly you have a lot of manufacturing, and the another side is the maintaining the quality parameter. Yes, we have capability, we are producing the good quality of material. What is your like perception on this, and how it can be mitigated?
I have visited some module manufacturing setups in within India, and I think there are nowhere less than world class manufacturing elsewhere in the world. So I think in that way, India has got they are in the right path. But in Rico, what we require is the manufacturer should have an integrated cell manufacturing setup, which is still a gap in within with the Indian manufacturers. Still, everybody doesn't have that kind of cell manufacturing or integrated plant with them. So that is one challenge. What we say, because cell is the core of the module, and we want the reliability of those things, and we want somebody to have their own manufacturing setup. Uh, Integrated cell manufacturing setup. That is what is one thing. The other thing is the challenge what as a quality head I have is, like as I told you, one good thing is the technology is improving. There is a lot of changes happening, a lot of new things are coming. So for me it is a challenge that how to verify those things, how to because how we do is we generally have a quality assurance plan, QAQ, how what they say with we have that thing, and we discuss with the manufacturer, and we agree on a common quality assurance plan which will be there for the entire production process. So with these kind of new technologies, with these kind of new things, we have to evolve ourselves with the latest standards. IEC standards are there, but still there are a lot of gaps even in the IEC standard. So we have to have our own kind of testing mechanism in place. So with these new technologies, what how to get a reliable product? One is the quality, which can be tested immediately, whether it is the EL of the cells, or the how it is getting laminated by some field test, mechanical load test, so and so forth. So we have the all those things. But the other thing which is very important is how reliable these modules will be in the long run. So there will be some tests which will be there. So those tests, how we need to do those testing, how to set a criteria for those testing for these new technologies and new modules become very, 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 very critical. That is where I see the challenge, that we have to evolve ourselves in the testing techniques and the testing criteria. Basically, what should be the testing criteria, so that we get a good quality material which is good at manufacturing and good even during the performance and operations.
Perfectly, perfectly. So, like 3x IC and long reliability test, and even the kind of nowadays pressure cooker test, those are very famous and even required. So, each component, either it is backseat or EVA or glass or even the cell, those needs to be thoroughly checked. And even the integration, backward integration is very important, because if you are not having a capability of cell, then you will not be able to know about what can be the field effect on this,
Correct.
right side.
Yes.
So
Yes.
similar way, actually there we have Barun basically. So he mm, I would like to understand now, it is like the cell technology and even module technology is going up, so from 350 to 600, and then now higher voltage and higher current, and how the inverter is now innovating. So if you can forecast on that, give some impact on like what is the CNI market requirement and how it is getting customized, and what your thought on this. Yeah, Varun.
Thank you, Rajesh ji. And so, just to give you a brief background about Goodwe, we are actually solar inverter manufacturers since 2010. And in India, we've been here since 2015. We are into on-grid inverter solution for residential, industrial, and utility space. So, like Srinivas ji said, I think there's been so rapid change in the transition of the module capacities in the last 3-4 years. I think just 2019 we were at 400 watt peak modules, 415 watt peak modules. Today we already have 665 watt peak modules. We are going ahead with 700 watt peak modules, and the technology has happened, the shift has happened. We are moving towards N type, where I think the current rating of the module also has increased. So as inverter manufacturers, we, and I think all the other brands as well in the solar industry, we need to upgrade ourselves, align ourselves, upgrade according to the technology. We need to work hand in hand with them. And for example, our CNI range of inverters, 50, 60, 80, 100, 120, they have been upgraded. So far we have increased the per MPPT ampere rating, so that they can handle the current of the N type module, which is close to I think 20 amps. Some have 19 amps also. Even in the utility space, we are giving customers those options, because in I think today's scenario, the end customer is so aware, so learned, that he knows I'm going to go with this X module brand or a Y module brand. And you need to give a solution to them. Okay, if you're going with say 182 normal 15 amps module, then we can give you this solution. If you are going with 210 90 amp module, then we'll give you this solution. So even for the utility space, we have we have increased the MPP ampere rating per MPPT, and we have come up with two models. One is 350 KUT, one is 350 KHUT. So like I said, we have to work in tandem. We have to, because without modules, without inverters, there would be issues. We don't want that. There would be some trip down issues, fire issues, if we don't increase our capacities and technologies according to how the modules are changing. So I think that's what the requirement is, to continuously innovate. That's what Goodwe also believes in. That's how I think all the manufacturers, be panel, be inverter manufacturers, we have to work together. And this is how I think we have worked so far.
Yeah, great, Varun. So, in continuation, same. I understand, there are adoption and even the changes, because the requirement of higher current. So, accordingly, your string and your fuses are getting changes, and even the string inverters are getting you can say more like 1,000 volt to 1,500 volt, and then further there is a efficiency enhancement, power density criteria need to be understand. So we further in international side, if solar train we can see. So we have Pradeep. So uh, Pradeep ji, are you available?
Yes, Rajesh.
Yes. So great. So if you can put some the thought, like what the solar trend you looking from in the international perspective, so that will be great. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So, since we Solar Pack, we operate in 16 different countries and five different continents. Some of the markets are more mature market in terms of the new adoption of new technologies, hybrids, and battery storage, like US. So there are few trends that we have been observing, and we, as a company, global player, we are trying to adapt. In certain countries, like in Europe, where Spain has been and Germany has been, the earlier the leaders, and now they are revamping their renewable energy capacity, and specifically with the new geopolitical scenarios. So the trends that recently have just came across is in Europe, regulator are opening up the window for the existing power plants, solar or wind or hybrids, to be repowered on the DC side. So contracts were, let's say, earlier the fixed contract capacity on AC/DC. Now they're allowing higher DC capacity to be added in the mid stage of the life. So PPAs are being made flexible. Similarly, the existing operating renewable projects are also being allowed in new auction program or new PLI scheme. So wherein you can add storage within the operating solar or wind farm with the batteries, and there is some PLI incentives as a kind of viability gap funding. So what that does is it basically avoid a new capex that has to go in creating new transmission infrastructure, and optimize the existing infrastructure on the grid side. So this is one trend we have observed. Another trend is which is more relevant for CNI market. Here in the CNI market, we see either open access PPA or captives. So there are two structures, and in those mature market now, fractional ownership is also being allowed, and similarly, virtual PPAs are getting quite a flavor in the market. So you don't need to actually build individual customer plans. So when you build individual customer plans, so even though you can build a large facility, but you still have to segregate and get them as individual plans, right? So you have metering system transformation, and then entire controlling and forecasting, scheduling, and delivery dispatch is it's cumbersome. So you need to create, possibly, let's say you have a 10 customer within one operating renewable project, but ideally you have 10 plants, and you have 10 SPVs. So that has costs, and that has inefficiencies. So if fractional ownership is allowed, then you can simply create one project company and one project, and then you simply dispatch the power to multiple customers if regulatory commissions and regulations are flexible enough to allow customers to consume the energy under the captive mode. So that's it is very much happening, and I think this is something which will bring a lot of efficiencies if this is also being done. And then similar to the on the wind side, there was a policy for retrofitting and repowering. So here in like we have a certain capacity out of 77 gigawatts solar operational. So it's like until 2014 and 15, you were still having 60 cell modules and 245 or 251,000 watt peak 1000-volt system. So some of the projects they can afford additional capex if you allow them to be upgraded. And in certain places, additional land is something which is not a very big constraint. And once you use high power module, you can possibly within the same land footprint, you can actually increase the overall capacity. Another is the trend that these more mature markets are seeing is so RPOs are being defined sectorally. So certain sector which are like very high on their CO2 footprints, like aviation, transportation, they have different RPO than actually normal open access customers or large customers. So they're even though they may be smaller as in terms of the energy consumption, but because their CO2 consumption footprint is very high, they are supposed to actually either build renewable energy capacity, or they have to buy carbon credits, IREX, so or maybe the they can buy, let's say, green component of a renewable energy generation facility. So these are the 5-6 advancements that internationally is picking up a lot. Of course, there are thoughts about whether pumped hydro is the best solution, but you still need to complement with other technologies, and those technologies will definitely bring some challenges, but that at the same time, as a country, we need to be careful in how the compliance will be ensured. I mean, compliance has to be there, but how it will be ensured in taking care of the mid-life recycling or retrofitting, and how the waste management is to be taken care. But I think for a country like India, which will have energy consumption growth much higher than rest of the world, as this ramp up will be very steep as the economy grows, and then per capita income grows, so hence the consumption will also grow per capita, and then the evolution of and the transportation fleet, the EV conversion from ICE engine, it will bring an additional demand which is actually not so far being accounted for. So we need much more energy than usually 5-6% growth we see typically. So next 10 years, I believe it will be slightly, or at least 20-30% higher from the present energy consumption growth. So even though we would be catching up with the targets that the solar mission and the renewable energy mission brings, but the new solar parks are a constraint, or new wind locations are a constraint. So by adapting the existing operating renewable projects, you can possibly reduce the new capex that has to go into the grid, and the distribution companies, possibly they will also be able to partly, you can say, offset the additional cost, because earlier PPAs used to be until 14, 15, 16 used to be something around 4.5 to 5, 6 or 7 rupees. So if you add any additional capacity within the system, I think with the storage as well, you can still manage within the existing PPA price, and that's what I think distribution companies are finding a challenge in even buying the standalone wind or standalone solar, even if they are, the rock bottom tariffs or and rock bottom module prices. So these are the 4, 5, 6 trends that we have been observing globally wherever we operate. And I think India can definitely adapt this, and most of them are driven through the regulations and the policies. Of course, we see India is, I think, at par and the same level in the technology side, because we are adapting very fast with uh, the development in the module side, development in the other technical side. So there is not much of gap with the rest of the global market in terms of the products and the core technology in renewable space. However, I think there are more market driven and regulations driven changes that should definitely help India to catch up very fast.
Right. So perfectly said, Pradeep ji. About repowering, definitely there is a good, I think, uh, potential, and even government should think on that way. But the fact is, uh, if you have already distributed your SMBs or local inverters, like string inverters, so equal loading, you required a kind of dismantling of the module, and those need to be taken care, because you will get the land in the circumference. So in periphery, you can able to make designing, and from there you have to bring the cable to equally load on the particular that central inverter. Vis-a-vis, so already if you have 20-25%, so there will be a limited of 5% or 3% of, you can say, able to, but that can be checked. It's a very good point, because the tariff rates which previously the projects are having a good IRR, so those need to be, I think, can be converted.
I
uh,
think, yeah. So your point is right that possibly, all the projects have not been built with having this kind of flexibility. But yes, maybe at least 30-40% of the projects uh, would be able to adapt, and since those old capacities have always been higher capacities, so I mean, the distribution companies can benefit from, let's say, two-stage price, maybe, because you are going to just invest into the DC infrastructure and monitoring. So you can offer a very, very much, discounted price, even from the larger scale projects. So this is one area, and on the other side, the existing projects definitely would be able to accommodate, adding up with the battery storage, and that is what
right.
all the distribution companies are facing the challenge right now. Some of the states we have seen that the distribution companies, they are actually enforcing curtailments because of their, grid is not able to support, and they have sometimes they have surplus. So uh, some of the states curtailment is very, very prominent, and that too on 33 and lower voltage levels. So that may help definitely, uh, improving the economics of the projects, and then definitely the energy profiling.
Yeah, and also the talking about like some kind of factor influencing. So I have so many. So I'm going back to Somya, basically, if you assess and you can tell about some of the factors which are influencing on adoption of solar power in CNI segment, so that will be
I
useful.
uh, I agree with Pradeep ji. As he told, like while repowering, the grid availability and the curtailment, that is the issue that the current CNI market is facing.
Yeah.
To mitigate that, I think CleanMax, my company, like our company, that did a good job. So we are doing hybrid project, like we integrate solar and wind together. So while the wind is generating, we curtail the solar. If any of the CNI customer that is having a requirement of X amount, like 100 megawatt, then we used to take those like 20 or 30%, maybe 40% during the day from solar, and rest from wind, like based on the availability of the wind speed. If the wind speed is lesser, in that case we are utilizing 100% solar and reducing the wind. So this is how we are managing a continuous flow of the power. Like yes, I believe India should think about this wind and already India is into wind and solar hybridization. But I think we should increase those capacity rather than getting into only solar, because the PLF of wind and solar is way more than other like only solar or only wind. Because during the day and night, 24 into 7, you can supply the power based on the wind speed availability and sun. Yes.
Okay, so basically, some adding. So India having a double hump camel demand. So
Exactly.
either we can say there is we have to meet those humps basically by solar and wind, and even some of the, if gap is there, then we can add the BESS or either pump storage. So the RTC very well possible, and to avoiding like there are nowadays FDRE, so the firm dispatchable RE power is also so tenders are there in SECI and SJV, and so those demand profile and basis on that we have to prepare our RE profile, uh, and then we have to meet the maximum RTC. So moving ahead to understand about more what are the factors. So if Varun can address some more on this thing. So basically, the factor influencing on the adoption of solar in CNI, if you can, please, sir.
Yes, sir, sure. So, I think one of the main factors itself is the cost of the project to start with. I mean, it's 70% costing comes from the modules. Modules we have seen, it's been a coaster since last 4 5 years. If you see, we have seen the highs, we have seen the lows. So the CNI market obviously finds it very in a sweet spot when we have the module prices being at, I think, 16 rupees to 23 24 rupees per watt. We are kind of in a state where it's a sweet spot. We are picking up projects. CNI customers mostly, they are, I think, 70% they are capex. You go for capex model, and they put their own money, they fund to get their own solar plant put up. And obviously, like say, inverter costing becomes around 10%. But yes, coming to global factors is again one of the things where you can't avoid them. Say, last year we had a huge shortage of IGBT, I think across the globe in different industries. Even our sector had faced the same issue. And we, for the first time on the inverters, we saw the price rise giving to about 10% 15%. And the end of the day, it's going to have an impact of say 10 paisa 15 paisa on the overall project cost. Similarly, say, on same, adding to the global factor, let's say, during the COVID times, we have seen where I think vessels were not available for logistic purpose of carrying the components from say China or Vietnam. So the costing itself had risen to, I think, 10,000 US dollars per container for the just for the transportation, which normally is around 1,500 US dollars, 2,000 US dollars. So uh, technological advancement being another factor where, I think the CNI customer being well aware of it, now he knows that gone are the days where we used to have 300 watt peak module. I think 6 7 years back we used to have inverters where 50 60 kilowatt were the most popular ones. I was still new in the market, and 100 kilowatt used to look like as if it's 300 kilowatt inverter. The most common ones were 50 60. Now we have upgraded, we are moving towards 100 125 kilowatt 120 kilowatt inverters, and with that there has been decrease in price as well. So for a CNI end client, I think it's best of both things. He's getting the best technology as we move towards the N type TOPCon technology with inverters also. I think we have upgraded the capacities. Same way, coming to financial options, there's a lot of financial options available with PPA model being there. I think a lot of financial institutions giving loans to at affordable prices, where even SIDBI is offering loans up till 100% to all the MSMEs. And yes, solar is looking being looked at aggressively as part of CSR activity as well for most of the corporates. So people do want to invest. They do know that you get the benefit of taxation, where you get AD benefit till 40% as well. So government policies play, again, I think, very important role. In the last 2 3 years there have been some favorable ones, some non so favorable one, where let's say UP market was derived or deprived of net metering since 2019. It is still kind of we have not seen CNI installations over there. So even though I want to go solar, I want to invest, I want to take the benefit from solar, but I can't do it because net metering access is not there. Similarly, states where Punjab, Haryana, say Rajasthan, they have net metering, but it is only till 500 kilowatt. We have had seen instances where there was increase in GST on both modules on inverters. I think for the first time in 2021 we saw GST being levied on the inverters. So even though these are small areas, but yes, if we have abrupt and a bit uncertain policies, then we've seen the entire sector kind of being in a bit of uh, uncertain phase. But yes, we have been resilient so far. Adding to it, I think ALMM was again one of the new thing which was brought by the government, moving towards the right direction. Of course, we do want to become self-reliant, Atmanirbhar, and want to ramp up our capacities. But yes, it did have an impact. The flip side being cost increase in the modules by 30% 40%, and eventually I think it had an impact on the psyche of the end customer, who just kind of waited for the price to either they had postponed the projects, or they kind of waited for the module prices to come down. So I think a lot of these factors come into play when you analyze what are the factors for the CNI end customer, what matters, what doesn't matter. So that's how I think these are the points.
Yeah. Understand. So now we are at the verge of the closing. So if would take the closing remarks, like in 2 points for challenges and 2 points for the kind of right trend or the direction, which we any you can say the good point. So start with Srinivas sir. So in like 2 or 3 lines, you can say.
Yeah, as I told you, in the terms of technology advancements and other things, we are going in the right direction. That's a good thing that module manufacturers are coming up with new technology, higher efficiency modules, and other things. And also, when we are talking about the storage, pump storage, we have got a lot of options like other panel had discussed. Pump storage is one of the good options which is there, and we are able to build in such large scale. So that is one good advantage. And the government is also giving us some favorable support in these kind of things. So that is a good thing what I see. So that's a positive thing, and we are actually riding on that positiveness only, and we are trying to put up such huge gigawatt scale projects, and that too numerous projects. So
Great.
that is the positive thing which I see, the sunshine part of it. The other thing is still there is a lot of like way to go ahead on the policy side, because central government and the state governments, their policies may match or may not match. There may be some mismatch. There may be some gaps there. That is one thing which I see. The other thing is like, while the module manufacturers are coming up with new technologies, new things, the, as I said, balance of plant should integrate with those technologies, especially inverters. With those kind of a thing, inverters also have to evolve in such fast and quick thing, whether it is string inverters or the central inverters. So that is where I see one challenge. And the one of the other challenge what I see, especially in India, is that the the technology or the process in which these solar projects are installed, because it's mostly unskilled or semi-skilled people who do these installations of solar. And when we are talking of this sensitive, if you, everybody knows how sensitive or how they take care of modules in a plant, in the manufacturing plant. It is like a newborn baby. They handle with so much of care, and once they come to the site, they are laid as floor tiles. So that is the sensitizing those people who are actually installing this modules is a big challenge for developers like us, because that will determine how long these modules will work, what how like in good shape they are installed, so that they achieve their life cycle. That is the biggest challenge what I see, if we say in type of execution or the technical things.
Perfect, perfect. And even there should be a contract agreement in which even the during field like commissioning or after that also there can be a check of the performance with line up with uh,
That is difficult,
OEMs.
because you know how the contractors work, and how we have the agreements with the contractor. You yourself are aware, you have also put up a lot of projects. So there, the manufacturer says my product is good, you have tested while you're taking it, it is good, so there is no problem from my side. It may be
Right.
it might have got damaged during the installation and other things. So it becomes very difficult for us to claim any warranty kind of a thing, until unless it is quite obvious that yes, this is due to manufacturing defect or something. Otherwise it always comes like the execution part, and we don't have such kind of contractors. Very few are there maybe who know the sensitivities of these things.
Perfect, right. So Pradeep ji, if you can summarize in 2 points, or either Soumya, if you can add.
Okay, so I would like to add the first point, as a EPC company, CleanMax. So we are like, not only us. There are several EPC company. They are facing issues as a like into the, we are into already CNI market, and we are facing the issues of acquisition of acquiring the land for the ground mount project. So yes, I believe government should make some baseline or fixing some of the costs, so that it can be easy for the CNI market.
Understand. Yeah.
And yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So
and in it,
yeah.
yeah,
So
and
yes, yes. Soumya. Yeah. Please tell me. Yeah.
okay, and in addition to that, I would like to say, rather than going for only winter solar or maybe hydel, India should move forward towards the hybrid power, like wind and solar hybrid.
Okay. And Varun, if you can add 1 point, conclusive remark.
So, sir, I think yes, there have been challenges. Challenges are part of life, it's part of the industry. But yes, we have to be resilient, all of us coming together. That's what I think the best part that we have seen with so many ups and downs last 5 years. But we are still growing, we are still achieving targets, we are still, no, I think the best thing is to be positive and keep it going.
Great.
So,
Thank you.
yeah.
So I think Ala, yeah, now uh, you can take question answer.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much to all our panelists. This has been quite an enlightening session indeed, and it has incited quite a few questions in the minds of our audience. So I'll be screening a few questions here now.
Soumya, would you like to take? This is being a EPC company in. Basically, withdrawal of subsidies in the CNI segment been helpful in the faster penetration of rooftop. Basically, it's a kind of uh, any incentivization. So if you getting some incentive, so definitely that will be help the sector to grow. Now the sector RE sector is grown up. I would say there is a long way to go. So definitely government should provide some subsidies, and those direct transfer or the way the subsidies are going to direct consumer, that need to be getting. So that will be helpful for the RE sector. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. In addition to that, I would like to say the market maturity should increase. People they are aware of it. Not only government, including the uh, EPC company or the CNI players, they should also promote and increase the quality. They should focus on the quality part also, like increasing the quality of the supply.
Right. Yeah. Next question. What is the likelihood of storage being mandated for renewable energy project like solar PV and wind installation in both utility and CNI segment? Okay. Uh, it is based on the tender requirement and the kind of uh, which uh, like tender you are participating. So, Sri sir, would you like to take?
Yeah, actually, more than mandate, like the requirements of the end user, whether it is a grid or any third party user, he wants RTC basically round the clock power. He doesn't now believe in standalone that in the morning we will be giving and the night is not having or any seasonal kind of thing. So now they are demanding round the clock power. So for this round the clock power, we need to have a storage attached to it. So more than any government mandate or anything, it is the mandate of the people that is pushing us towards having storage as an integrated part of standalone things. So yes, this will become more and more predominant and more in practice in the coming days because of the RTC requirement. That is
Okay.
the key.
Yeah. Next question. What is the efficiency of pump storage? So, Srinivas sir.
Yeah, basically, pump storage, it's almost like a hydro plant. It is basically a hydro plant. Only thing is that we are pumping the water back into the top reservoir rather than taking fresh water. So, it, so you, if the pump hydro is say somewhere around 90% or so, maybe 10 to 15% of power, 10 to 15% of the efficiency you manage for the pumping back the water. So that will be, so maybe around 80% will be the efficiency of the pump storage. Maybe even sometimes it may be more also, depending on the efficiency hydropower plant.
Right, right. And even the the distance of the project, so that line loss and that need to be taken care while simulating the energy mix.
Yeah, s- distance of,
Transmission line. So losses.
yeah, that will be anyhow there even in our normal hydro plant. So I'm taking that as common, and that is where we come as a 90%, 95% of efficiency of a normal conventional hydro plant. This pump
Yeah.
storage will have the reduction of pumping it back.
Okay. So and next question was how this MOP guideline will influence to add BESS with solar system in CNI area. So this Srinivas sir, you would like to take?
No, I will pass this question now.
Okay, no problem, sir. So basically,
I
what
think
we understand, yeah, yeah, Soumya.
Yeah, I think the guideline that Ministry of Power has been circulated, that is helping like reducing the cost, and improving the grid availability also, and increasing the power quality. Yeah, that's all. I think.
Right, right. Yeah, next.
So, sir, I believe that's all of the questions that have been posted here by the audience.
Okay.
And
So thank you.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, good. So this marks the end of the Q&A session. If any of our panelists would like to give any closing remarks here.
See, sir.
I think I only say that Solar Quarter is doing an excellent service to the nation by bringing in such experts at one forum, and then percolating the both the technology, maybe policy things, what are happening in various industries, various states, in one at one platform, and communicating those to the large audience who are there. I think that's a great thing. I'm really impressed with such kind of things, and I'm very happy and proud to be part of these conferences, webinars.
We're glad to have you on board as well, sir. Pleasure. Uh, would anybody else like to give a few closing remarks?
So Varun.
Yeah, I think it was a wonderful session. I think got to know about a lot of insights on what the CNI trends are and what is happening on the other part of the country, as in the UK market. Pradeep ji gave a very insightful information about it. I think it was wonderful to know about the pump storage also from Srinivas sir. I think as a whole, I guess all the people who attended, I think people would definitely would have learned a lot from this webinar and would definitely want to be part of such webinars. Thank you, Solar Quarter, for this. And I think Rajesh ji did a very good job as a moderator. So, thank you so much, Rajesh, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Rajesh, if you would like to give any closing remarks here.
Sure. So basically, the agenda was solar landscape very well covered. I think audience got complete like a kind of the perspective. What is the forecast and what is the till achievement? So in the side of technology, either we can say inverter and module, as well as the pump storage and the kind of best. So those were very informative. Even I think Pradeep ji has said about the international market. So the repowering and the kind of open access and even the bulk consumer. So the metering policies, which was earlier it was hurdle, so that was now getting very much clearer. So in particular one area, through open access you can feed to many bulk consumers. So the SPVs, how you make these things. So it's a very good uh, session, and definitely I would like to once again thank Solar Quarter and all the panel members. They have supported very well, and that was very good, insightful discussion with all them. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Ghosh, if you would like to add a few words.
I would like to thank Solar Quarter and like to thank all the panel members. I think we had discussed a like great insight of the industry in so like CNI market in solar. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Unfortunately, Mr. Pradeep Chauhan had to leave early due to some urgent meeting. And thank you to our audience and, of course, our esteemed panelists. And a very special mention to Mr. Rajesh Tiwari for superbly managing this session and collaborating with us on this event. We would also like to thank our industry partner Vari for their immense support to organize this event. And again, a very special mention to our wonderful panelists here. Without you, our session would not have been as engaging as it was today. So, thank you all. We promise to be back soon with more exciting sessions. The floor is now open for networking. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
all.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.